We are still talking autonomous vehicles. They say the robot trucks are coming for your jobs, man. So, hey, let's go ahead and do a deep dive. Let's go ahead and get as much information on this stuff, man, as we can. This is Kodiak. Kodiak, Mr. Don Burnette.
Morning, autonomous truck technology company Kodiak is going to begin trading on the NASDAQ after completing a SPAC transaction. It's changing its...
What y'all think about that, right? What's your ideas on Kodiak autonomous vehicles trading on the NASDAQ? They starting to go public. They need funding. They need more money. Are you willing to invest in autonomous trucks? Are you willing to bet against your future if that's even the case? The more that I really dig into this stuff, man, I'm like, I don't know if it's really that simple, I do see how it could benefit truck drivers because you can work more hours, you can work longer, you're not as tired. But I just don't see them replacing truck drivers altogether. The reason why, because with the human driver, with human labor, you can always cut costs with human labor. You can always manipulate the numbers and the hours and the pay scale of a human. But with technology, it is what it is. It's always going to increase. But let's go ahead and just check this out, man. Because I'm like, man, I just don't see how they can cut out the human driver just altogether. Not yet.
Name to Kodiak AI, and joining us right now on the potential benefits of AI-powered trucking. That means trucks that are driving themselves. Is Kodiak's founder and CEO Don Burnette. And Don, thanks for being here today.
Thanks for having me,
young dude.
I did not realize how these things are already on the roads, at least down in Texas at this point. Why didn't you describe what the trucks are, how they run, and what the AI component is?
Sure. So trucking is obviously a huge part of the American economy. And one of the big challenges over the last several decades has been driver shortage and challenges that drivers face on the road.
All right. So first thing he did, he identified a problem, right? He said that, hey, there's been reported a driver shortage for years and years and years. The media and companies have been saying that, hey, there is a driver shortage. We don't have enough drivers to move every load that is available. The pushback on that is we don't have enough drivers to move the loads that are that are in the dumpsters. We don't have enough drivers to move the not so desirable loads that are like 50 cents a mile. We don't have enough drivers for that. So you have two sides of the equation, right? You have two sides of the argument. Not enough drivers. We have enough drivers. Mr. Don Burnette, he says, you know what? I have a solution to not having enough drivers. But what we're going to do is we're going to go to the places where it's more desirable, though.
And so we've been working to automate the trucks with AI technology that allows them to effectively drive on their own. And our first commercial deployment is out in West Texas with a company called Atlas Energy Solutions. And we have now 8 trucks that are fully driverless, meaning there's nobody in the cab out operating on a daily basis.
And they're
all right. You got 8 trucks out there in the oil fields out there in West Texas. When you think about West Texas, I want y'all to think about like El Paso, something like that. So you got 8 trucks just running, no driver. I always heard that was a good paying gig out there, man. Y'all let me know. I thought that the oil field was a good paying gig, and the oil field is one of those gigs like either you know or you don't. You know what I'm saying? Like you really gotta know somebody to really know what happened and what's going on out there in the oil field. Shit. First time I heard about the oil field was probably about 2 years ago.
They're out driving. You picked this area of Texas, because it's fairly remote, there's not a lot of traffic on the road, but there is other traffic. It's not a closed loop.
Absolutely. So there's actually quite a bit of traffic, and in particular, there's a lot of close quarter traffic. So we have a lot of oncoming vehicles, heavy trucks, big vehicles, pedestrians, pretty much everything you would find on any road network. But it is fairly remote, and it's a great place to first deploy the technology.
But they're trying to go a certain MPH, obviously. If someone's in their way, they have the capability on a 2-lane highway of passing.
Absolutely. So we're operating off highway today, but yes, they can pass, stop traffic. They can yield for other traffic. They follow all the rules of the road. All the rules still apply.
Well, unlike most, the professionals are actually good. I'm shocked when a pro driver stays in the left lane, and we're trying to get around, and it's like, I know you know better. I know you do because you're a pro.
All right. He's talking about this older guy. He's talking about you drivers who like to hang out in the left lane doing 65 miles an hour. You know, your truck maxed out at 65 miles an hour, but you insist on trying to pass somebody in the left lane. Y'all know who y'all are. Y'all know exactly who y'all are, man. Y'all got these trucks that's governed at 65. Your truck, you done pulled into the left lane. You pulled up beside somebody trying to pass them. They doing 65. You doing 65. What are you doing, man? So now you looking over it. Now you looking at that driver. The driver looking over at you. You want that driver to slow down to let you in. Now y'all got a staring contest going on. Meanwhile, the traffic behind you is looking like, what are both of y'all doing? Y'all need a white Volvo. That's what y'all need. Hey, that's why Mr. Don Burnette said, you know what? You ain't even got to worry about that. I got a Kodiak truck. I got a robot truck that ain't going to do none of that. You ain't got to worry about trying to pass somebody at 65 miles an hour. It's going to stay right where it's supposed to be. As a matter of fact, it's not going to go no faster than 65, no faster than 55 miles an hour. That's the sweet spot, 65.
Pro, but so they're going to do what a really good truck driver. I'm worried about.
Get your words out.
With driving cars, you worry about, hey, if you want to go around a driverless car, that's your problem. You're not going to kill me. One of these things on the road, I worry about.
Yeah.
It could be coming. I don't know. I worry that truck could kill me. I shouldn't.
All right, he has struggled to get that down sentence out. Good Lord. All right.
Yeah.
It could be coming. I don't know. I worry that truck could kill me. I shouldn't.
You shouldn't. So safety is all.
It could be coming. Driverless car. I'm worried about to do what a really good pro. But so they're going to do what a really good truck driver. I'm worried about with driving cars. You worry about, hey, if you want to go around a driverless car, that's your problem. You're not going to kill me. One of these things on the road, I worry about.
Yeah.
It could be coming.
Boy, why is he struggling to get the words out? You know, I'm going to say this, man. The whole idea of having a vehicle in the motoring public without somebody in the driver's seat, that's still a very taboo subject, man. And I could imagine this guy, he's a little older. So for him to just trying to wrap his mind around, he can't even find the words. Like, hold up. It's one thing to have a car without a driver in it, you know. I'm still trying to wrap my mind around the idea that Tesla has automated vehicles, right? Now you mean to tell me there's going to be a 18-wheeler with nobody in the driver's seat? Shoot. Man, listen.
But so they're going to do what a really good truck driver. I'm worried about with driving cars. You worry about, hey, if you want to go around a driverless car, that's your problem. You're not going to kill me. One of these things on the road, I worry about. Yeah, it could be coming. I don't know. I worry that truck could kill me. I shouldn't.
You shouldn't. So safety is always our first priority. And as you said, our trucks are programmed to be conservative. They're going to sit in the right-hand lane, minding their own business. They're not going to cut you off. Yeah. If they're going to pass cautiously. They're going to pass when there's an opening. And so they're going to abide by the speed limit. They never get drowsy. They never drive drunk. Right. They're always paying attention. 300.
Boy, he can't wait to say that, boy. Truck drivers, they do what? They're drowsy and they are drunk. Ugh.
And so they're going to abide by the speed limit. They never get drowsy. They never drive drunk.
Right.
That's his calling card, man.
Pass cautiously. They're going to pass when there's an opening. And so they're going to abide by the speed limit. They never get drowsy. They never drive drunk.
Right.
They're always paying attention 360 degrees around the vehicle.
You know, the thing is, though, with truck drivers is whenever you do your Googles, truck drivers and the accidents, it comes from human error, right? And whenever you do the research on it, matter of fact, let's go ahead and let's just do that right quick, man. Because I actually had looked this up, man. Because he keeps saying it like it's like there's a fact to it, right? But here it is. Let me see. Make sure we all on the same page, man. Make sure y'all can see it. Boom. All right. Because we're going to get back to that. But he keeps saying that, drivers don't get, his automated truck doesn't get drowsy and it doesn't drive drunk. All right. Here we go. The number one cause of truck accidents is driver error. 87% of large truck crashes are caused by human factors: fatigue, distraction, and speeding, and poor decision making. A lot of this it comes from inexperienced drivers, right? Driving in the snow, driving in the rain, driving when you're tired, learning how to really work your 10-hour clock, really learning how to work your hours of service. All veteran stuff. But then let's do this. What is the percentage of truck drivers that use? Alright. No, let's go here. What is the percentage of truck drivers that have accidents with alcohol? Let's do that. Fatal crashes, 3%, 4%, any alcohol presence, roughly 3% of truck drivers. 3%. 3%. That's what you. Of 3 million truck drivers out there, and if you were to get into an accident, 3%. 3% of all accidents include alcohol.
You have 3,000 paid hours of these driverless trucks to this point. Have you had any accidents, had any issues?
We have not had any at-fault accidents with our system.
At fault? Was there somebody else?
Well, we've had situations where we've been hit primarily in the trailer by other vehicles. Absolutely. It's happened a handful of times. But that's the reality of being out on the road. That's the risk that you have to undertake. But our system is incredibly cautious, incredibly safe.
What?
All right, so they do get into accidents. Somebody hit them. That's what he's saying. He didn't mention that.
What happened when somebody else hit one of the trucks and there's nobody in the truck? Like how did they react to that? How do That's
the
law
trucks
enforcement react to that.
Yeah, the trucks are actually detecting whether they've been hit. So we're monitoring all around the truck. So we see when there's been a collision. The truck safely pulls over to the side of the road, and we have a 24-hour monitoring system, which allows a human to then go in and review the material, communicate with law enforcement, and handle the situation on the ground.
But that's, wow. I'm sorry to dig down into the details. I know you got a lot of other financial stuff to talk about, but I'm just thinking if I hit a truck, there was nobody in it, and then somebody from the company came and said, yeah, it was your fault. Show me that. Prove that to me. And how do you play that out?
I would assume that the cameras are working. I would assume that the cameras are working, so the cameras are probably got some type of surveillance going on with that. That's what I'm assuming.
What happened in the instances where this has already happened?
Well, the great thing about our trucks, in addition to real-time monitoring of the scenario, is that we're logging all of that data. We have cameras, we have LiDAR, we have radar, so we know the speeds of all the vehicles, we know where they are on the road, and we're logging all of it. And so we can effectively replay the entire situation in a lot of detail.
Did anybody get hurt?
And that's what I'm saying, right? Like, that could be a great benefit to American truck drivers. All of that technology that he's spitting out just for his truck and his technology, like, you know what? Human drivers can use that. There are so many reports where people are trying to get a payday off of a truck driver. They're in the wrong place. They try to beat a truck driver to a spot, running a red light, running a stop light, running a stop sign. A truck driver trying to maneuver, trying to make a right turn. Somebody pulls into the blind spot. All type of stuff. And this technology, it could help truck drivers. Shit, I think he's marketing his stuff to the wrong people. You should be trying to market your stuff to some owner operators, like real talk.
And the other cars that hit?
No,
trucks?
We've never had any injuries.
Okay. What's the plan from here? If it's effective here, I would assume that regulators in Texas are probably more lax than you would get here in New York City or somewhere. I see one of the trucks right across the street in Times Square. But how long before we see the trucks in urban areas, in metro areas, in suburban areas?
Well, we're working hard to scale the operation. We're starting in remote locations for safety reasons. We want to make sure we take a crawl, walk, run approach to this. But gradually over the next coming years, you're going to see an expansion of the rollout. You're going to see more trucks on the road. You're going to see more efficiency from these vehicles. And eventually they will be ubiquitous across all roadways.
How expensive is it for you to get the startup on this? How much capital do you have to pour into this? And then how do you make your money? You charge.
There you go. Let's get to the meat and potatoes. How much does this cost? Show me the money.
A service fee, basically, per hour or per mile?
Yeah, so this is a driver as a service, as we call it. So we effectively provide the service that a driver would typically bring to these companies, and they would pay us on kind of a fixed rate. So we provide the technology, the hardware, the sensors, the computers. Our customers buy the trucks. That's an important one for Kodiak. Our customers own and operate their own vehicles. We're an asset-light company, and then they pay us as a service fee on a regular basis to operate and drive the trucks.
How long?
I know damn well she said, how much? Am I tripping? I know she asked how expensive it is for you. And then he's avoiding that question, man. I like her. There's another lady who asked about the money. This is New York journalism at its finest. I love it.
No?
Yeah, so this is driver as a service. As we ubiquitous on the road, you're going to see more efficiency from these vehicles, and eventually they will be ubiquitous across all roadways.
How expensive is it for you to get the startup on this? How much capital do you have to pour into this? And then how do you make your money? You charge a service fee basically per hour or per mile?
Yeah, so this is a driver as a service, as we call it. So we effectively provide the service that a driver would typically bring to these companies, and they would pay us on kind of a fixed rate. So we provide the technology, the hardware, the sensors, the computers. Our customers buy the trucks. That's an important.
It's going to be interesting just to watch how these people try to get into trucking, and they're going to understand that, you know what, truck drivers don't get paid no damn money. Like, yeah, there's a lot of money in trucking, but then again, whenever you start to really consider how much truck drivers actually get paid, you're like, man, shit, can't make no money like that.
Important one for Kodiak. Our customers own and operate their own vehicles. We're an asset-light company, and then they pay us as a service fee on a regular basis to operate and drive the trucks.
How long before the company's profitable?
We haven't given any guidance exactly on profitability, but we're really proud of the fact that we actually are delivering driverless revenue now, which is something that not a lot of other autonomy companies have been able to say.
So they're not making any money yet. It might be a long time before they start making any money. One thing about trucking, man, the profit margins are so thin. The profit margins are thin for human drivers. Man, an autonomous truck with all of the bells and whistles, their expense per mile are like double, sometimes triple that of a human driver. You can take your typical owner operator who has a cash truck. They own their truck, they own their equipment, and their operating costs could probably be something like 50 cents per mile. That's their cost to put it on the road, to get it rolling. That's their expense. Whenever you start adding insurance and all of that good stuff like that. These robots aren't coming in at 50 cents per mile. They coming in at 80, at $1.89. I heard reports of $2 a mile, but $1.89 per mile.
Yeah, it's been a long time coming, but it is very interesting to see the progress. Don, good luck at the opening bell today, and we appreciate your time.
Thanks for having me.
If you mess up the opening bell, we're going to think your trucks are not safe either. You know how to do this, right? Did you practice?
I've been practicing, that's right.
I hope you practice.
Yeah.
All right, man. They going public. They are going public. Kodiak done went public. What y'all think about investing in a company like Kodiak? Autonomous trucking company. It's the future. I think it could be a great extension to the human driver. Because it has all the safety features that a truck driver could use. All of the safety features. You got cameras all around that thing, man. People always try to chase an accident, chase a lawsuit when it comes to a truck driver. And you got a camera that's watching their back 24/7. I think it's a win-win situation for a human driver. You know, they don't have to just limit their advertisement and their services to just major trucking companies, major carriers. They can always go to the owner operators and start promoting their stuff like that. Shit, I think that's going to be my next project to look into. Could they service owner operators, small mom and pop truck operations? What y'all think about that? Y'all let me know.